Hello folks, welcome back. I'm your host Amit, and in this session we are going to discuss Excel sheet column title problem. So let's try to see. We are given a column number. Okay, so a column number is given. So if you notice inside an Excel sheet, if you see the column number, instead of like 1 2 3, they are given like A B C D, and instead of up to G. G stands for like the 26th column, and after 26th there is AA, which means like 1. Maybe we can assume it to be a 0, and then correspondingly it's kind of increasing. So if you see, it's slightly different from hexadecimal, because hexadecimal has 0, so it's also not numeric, so it's kind of decimal, but it's always increasing. Like if you reaches 26, then to have 27 instead of just having ZA or something, it would have it would start from like the next one. So this would be like the new I mean, it's not a decimal one, but probably I think alphabetically we are just increasing the alphabets so that we can just accommodate the next integer. Okay, so this is what we want. Let's try to see it. See some example. If column number is 1, which means our output should be A. If column number is 28, which means 26 is Z, 27 is AA, and 28 is AB. Okay, so then we are starting increase. We are increasing the least significant alphabet here. So on the right is the least significant, on the left is the most significant. Okay, similarly 7 0 1, and like when it reaches ZZ, we would probably start with AAA, and so on and so forth. Okay, great. So and our column number starts from 0, starts from 1, and it reaches to the maximum integer value, a positive integer value. Okay, so yeah, with this intuition, let's try to solve our problem. Okay, so let's start. So we would start our string. So we would put our results in our string, right? So result in our string, we start with an empty string, and we would keep iterating if our column number. Okay, so or maybe we can just initialize our column number, or maybe we can just manipulate it, because it's definitely there is no impact if we manipulate it like at other places. Okay, so we have column number. If column number is greater than 0, we would keep iterating, and with each iteration we would reduce our column number by 26. Okay, column number by 26. Okay, is it because one thing that I see here is that there is no okay, because because there is nothing like decimal, but probably we need to 0 is missing here, so that nothing that represents 0. Okay, but still we can follow that approach, right? By 26. So if it is not 26, then we would seek for the next result. Okay, let's try to see. So one thing we should do here is find out the ASCII characters of A. So because we are here using all the uppercase characters, and the ASCII characters before A is @. So probably we can use this ASCII characters like at 64. Okay, so with this we would, what would our result be? It would be our result equal to, so we would have probably a character here, and what that character would be, that character would be at the rate plus and we would use the column number and we would get a remainder after dividing with as 26. Okay, so if column number is 1, because it cannot be 0, if column number is 1, we would get character 1 and we would add this to the result. Okay, and let's say if it is 27, then we would have 27, so we would divide it by 26 and we would have like 1 remainder here, and we would add the rate character to 1, then we would get a, so that would give us a. Okay, so I think this looks good to me, and then we would return our result. Okay, great. So I think we should get a good answer with that. Let's try to run it. Okay, yeah, output is yes, but let's say if we have like a base case 701, I just try to experiment this with 701, and would it give, okay, a at the rate y, but it should be zy, so there is a problem with this. Okay, because there is a possibility that we can also get a 0 here, and if we get a 0 when dividing by, because if it is a perfect multiple of 26, then it is causing a problem. So how can we resolve this problem? Okay, so one way we can think of is, let's say we should start from a, but the problem is like how a we would get a then, right? So for that particular purpose we would need to subtract 1 from column number before getting, because if it is 1, then we should we would definitely start from a and we then up to 26. Okay, so I think what we can also do is we can, and we should divide it by 27, but what if we divide it by 27, then we can also get 26. Okay, let's try to do that. No, okay, this is also not correct, because we only have numbers up to 26, and yeah, this is causing a problem. 701 should be zy, okay, but we are giving a z, which is a problem. Okay, so what we can do is let it remain 26 and let us subtract this number. Okay, let us subtract this number 1 and start it from a, and let's try to run it. Okay, I think now it's better. Let's try with 28. We are good now. Okay, let's try to understand why this and decreasing n is required. The decreasing n is required because this is not a binary system, this is a 26-nary system, but without a 0, because we don't have a 0. So in this case we can assume like a as 0 and z as 25, right? So a should behave as a 0 here, and if a is behaving as a 0 but our common system is starting from 1, so if it is starting from 1, then we need to accommodate, because without a 0 there is no like decimal places. If you see Roman numbers, the reason why they were not able to have this decimal kind of a system which can which has its unit significance is because they were not able to invent 0. So that's why we are able to we can give our significance to like how 0 is important, and with 0, without 0, like how miserable we can be, considering our means how this system would work. Like if this is 26 and a is 0, then definitely this actual behaves differently, like 27, which is like a. So that's why we need to return, we need to subtract 0 each time to accommodate accommodate for 0. Okay, see you folks. I think this gives a nice explanation, and we can try to run it now, and let's try to submit this. Okay, we are able to get a result. Thank you folks, see you in the next one.